Okay, so now last time we looked at, in the last section, we looked at the option walls. Okay, got an overview and we looked at the option walls. Now let us see. So if we write this portion, so as expected, earlier cited, resistance at 4.4 held, had expected a range of 4.4 to 4.3 and a quarter in rest of February. Average 3.83 actual. So all this I can write, okay? I'm not going into the writing right now, okay? Now the next section is forecast error, okay? Can you see this? Forecast error. So forecast error, I look at the INR benchmark rates file and I look at this. So this is the forecast error. So this has come in as, so I'm going to note it here. Forecast error. Last month average has come as 1.99%. Okay, in March. And but as we now project March error at 2.85. So last month forecast was 2.85. Instead, it has come much lower. So this was for March, and for April we had forecasted 3/4. Okay. So now see, if I open the benchmark analysis file also, so if I had forecasted 2.85, so 0.0285, okay. Then my April would have been at 87.81, sorry, my March. Okay. So if I had, suppose my March had come in at, error had been 0.0285, which means 2.85%. Then my March would have been 87.71. So that is not what has happened. Okay. What has happened is that the actual has come this is from minor hist, I think. Yeah, minor hist, okay. March has come in at 86.9137. So the actual error has been 0.191, yeah, 1.91%. Okay. And Vase it has come to 1.99. So this is another indication of trend change. We were expecting much higher error, but it has come in much lower. And April had been forecasted at 0.0325, 0.0325. Okay. If I put April at 0.0325 will come to 88.15. Okay, so that is not what is happening now, right? So if I So now I look at what my errors might be. So I look at the error chart. Okay. So it can either shoot up from here, 2.5% or 3%. Okay, or it can come down towards 1.75 or 1.5, right?
Right.
Or it can be at 2. So this is the range between 1.5 to 3. So if I play around now, okay, so we can look at it like technical analysis and try to figure it out, or we can try and look at it as a play around with it and see what that will do to my price chart. Okay,
Right.
so if I take 0.015, okay, so I'll get 86.66. All right. So that is if I get 1.5%. Okay. If I take 0.03, then I'll get 87.94. Okay. So I got to see which one is more likely in April. All right.
Right.
If I take, so 3 does not look to be likely in April, looking at the price chart. Right. If I take 0.015, then it comes to 86.66. If I take 0.0125, it comes to 86.45. Okay. So maybe the error will drop down to 1.25. Okay. And then if May, I then take at, if this comes down to say 1.25, then say May will be say 1%. So 0.01. Okay. 86.40. 86.40. All right. And then say okay, if the error comes down even further to say 0, then we'll have say 0.005. Okay, then it will be 86. Hmm? All right. But if it goes up from here, say from 1.25, it goes up back to say 0.015. Then it will be 86.82. And if this goes up to 0.02, then it will go up to 87.35. Okay. So at least for now, I can say that I can forecast it at say 1.25% for April and say if I keep it at 1.25 only for May, I'll get 86.60. So say I keep it at 1.25 for May also. Okay. So this is what I'm getting from this error, where I'm looking at the error chart out here. Okay. And suppose, or if there's going to be huge volatility, but if I look at now, we'll see from the option walls, we'll come to that. Okay. So, so for the moment, let us keep it at 1.25, 1.25. Now the next one is vol minus forecast error spread. Vol minus forecast error spread. Okay. So the current value of that forecast error is 1.99. So this I'll get from INR benchmark rates, vol minus forecast error, which is the red line. Okay. So this is coming from AI. Okay. AI is this one. Yeah, that is 1.79%. All right. Has come in higher than the anticipated. This March will be the March 25 wall minus forecast error might be 1%. So last forecast was 1%. Okay. And it has come in much higher. Okay. The April, oh, sorry, 1% here. This was for March. And the April was 0.85. Okay. Now assume 1 month wall averages at, so if I'm assuming 1 month wall at 4.25%. Okay. 4.25. And 3 month wall at 3.5. So let us see how much is the wall. 3 month wall will be. So 3 month wall is not looking that it is looking like it is breaking higher. Okay. But it has room up till say 4.5%, and on the downside, say it will have room up till say 3.5. So we can say 3 month will be say around 4%. Okay. 3 month will be 4%. Based on these, okay. Okay, so now we're going to talk about this 1 month wall projection. If I take as 4.25%, okay. Wall okay, so now I have to forecast the April 25. So wall minus forecast error spread I have to forecast. So from minor benchmark rates in the charts, this one. Okay. So this if I it can go up to say 2% or 2.1%. 2.1. Okay, so I'm going to forecast it as 2.10%. Okay. So if I put this now as 2.1%, 2.1%, then my error projection comes to 2.15. Now, apart from this, I will say visual error based on this figure margin and April forecast at this. Forecast error at this. Visual error. Okay, now visual error I'm projecting much lower. Right? Visual error is what I'm projecting from there here. Okay, forecast error. So visual error I'm forecasting at 1.25%. Okay. So error projection one is 2.15%. Okay. Now what is my rupee benchmark for April up to March? Okay. So that is, I've got it from my benchmark analysis file. For April up till March is 85.38. All right. 85.38. Okay, so based on this so error projection comes at 2.15%. Based on this, I get 87.22 and 83.54. Okay. Now my visual error projection is 1.25%. Okay. So I get 86.45 and 84.31. All right. Now my 6 month average is this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 85.5940. 55.5940. Okay. And I'm taking wall projection at 4.25%. This is actually a wrong calculation, but I'm just persisting with it because we've been doing it for so long. I'm just persisting with it. It is not a correct thing, but still, if I take 4.25%, it gives me 89.23 and 81.96. Okay. So that's a vast change because I'm taking my error at 4.25%. Okay. So now I've got these as the possibilities. So I do a weighted average of these. So 89.23, I will have to give it a 0%. 81.96 also 0. Okay. 86.45, 87.22, 83.54, and 84.31. Okay. So if I give 86.45 and 87.22 a little higher, or if I give 83.54, if I give all of them the same weightage, okay, then we'll possibly come to the current spot only. Okay. But let me see. If I give this 0.25% and I give this 0.25%, okay. If I give this 0.25% and I give this 0.25%. Now see, this is, so I'll get 85.38, okay, which is more or less where we are now. See, this is not correct because if 83.54 has 25% chance, then 84.31 will have higher chance. Correct. Correct? Right. So if I say give this as 40% and give this as 15%. Okay. 86. 10 no, 15. That should be 10%. I give this as 40. Should give 33.1. Oh, 0.10. 0.1, okay. 0.1, okay. Now, if I've got 87.22 as as 25%, then 86.45 will have higher. So if I give this again as 40% and this as 0.1, again I'll come to 85.38. Okay. So this cannot be. Okay. So this is a bit of a conundrum. So I got to be very careful. Now 83.54 for April, if it seems to be incorrect, right? I can give this as 0. Okay. If I give this as 0, then I've got to increase something else. So I will, let me increase this 86.45. If I increase, say, 45, and this also 45. Okay. Then I'll get 85.56. All right. Now, if 86.45 is happening, then 84.31, how much possibility is it? From our technical analysis, etc., we are saying that 84, say 84.50 is a possibility, right? But that too not in May, April. But suppose there is a possibility. So suppose it goes down, then 84.35 at least is not as probable, right? Right. Yeah. So then I can reduce this. Yeah. If I reduce this to 0.3, okay, and that gives me 15% I have to this thing. So I increase 86.45 by say 10%. Okay, so 0.55. I increase 87.22 by 5%. So 15. So that gives me 85.92. Okay. Okay. And see how this is tallying with the technical analysis. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so my final rupee projection I'm keeping at 85.92 from this analysis. Okay, now analysis on monthly projection inside benchmark analysis file. Now there's another one in the benchmark analysis file. I've got here. This is one projection. Okay. So March has come in at 86.91. So the 12-month change has come in at 3.895, which is this line. Okay. Now, if these are my, okay. Now the actual price 1 year ago was 83.38. Okay. If I project it to have increased by 4 rupees, then I'll get 87.38. Okay. If I say 3.5, then I'll get 86.88. All right. Or if I say 3, I'll get 86.38. 86.38 might be a possibility in April. Right. So looking at this, how much can it drop? Right. And then suppose if it is dropping, so this I said 3%, no? Why is it not showing? ये 3 क्यों नहीं दिखा रहा है भाई? हाँ, अभी 3 दिखाया. Okay. If this comes to 3, then suppose the next one comes to 2.65. Okay, then May will be 86. All right. And then June, if I take as 2.5, then June will be 85.95. Okay, so right now I can take from this as 86.38. Okay. Now I will take it from volatility projections as per volatility formula in option walls file. So in the option walls file, I go to USD INR. Here I've got, so this I've got to take the rate as of 03 April, 04 April, right? 04 April 25. Okay. Here, please, you people, please put in a VLOOKUP here. Okay. So right now I'll take it from INR forwards. I have to take it. So I've got a close of 85.24, right? So, 85 point. So I got 2. Okay. Now back calculating from the optional Black-Scholes formula. Okay, option का Black-Scholes formula का back calculation से we get as if the wall is the current wall, last val of column E. Okay, so whatever is the current wall, which is say 4.3%, based on that and the current spot of this, the implied move in 1 month would be 1 rupee 21 paise. Okay. So from here, going by the implied volatility in the market, in 1 month, the spot can move by 1 rupee 21 paise. So on the higher side, it will be 86 quarter. On the lower side, it will be 84.21. Okay. And we expect the vol to be 4.25. Okay. So उधर में 4.3 है और ये so we are expecting the same thing. Now that gives me so many things again, right? So here again I will, what weightage do I give to
This one.
to 8627 and 8421? So say I give larger weightage to
8627.
if I give say 65% here and I give 35% here. Okay, 8555. Okay, but if I give this is I'm still taking 35%. Okay, if I take it lower, 25%, and I take this as 75%. Okay, then I get 8576, and I can take possibly the same thing out here also. So I get 8575 as my 1 month thing. Okay, I get 85.55. 75 is it? 85.75. Okay. So 85.75. Okay. Now from whatever this, that's why this one is important. Whatever I get here, that will come here. Okay. Now I go to the INR amplitude study. Okay. So I go to INR amp. So this is my March actual spot data. Let me see. Average 86. High, low, close. This is not updated. Monthly OHLC.
This is not a projection.
Yeah.
This is the actual data.
हाँ मार्च अच्छा मार्च का हाँ ठीक है No, March has been updated, no, 85.475. UHLC 85.475, okay? Okay. So here, this is the thing. So now I get actual spot. This is current spot is
85.24.
let us assume ठीक है because we're taking it say on 31st of
March.
huh? So assuming that, okay. So now I've got, this is my 3-month amplitude chart. Okay. I'm going to delete this. So this is where I am, right?
Yeah.
Now, put it back. So from this, I will come down to say 0.5, I will come down. And here, what I'm doing is I'm taking it, I'm now going to, I'm ignoring this rising trend line. Okay. Because if I don't ignore this, I will be going higher. And now I think I can ignore this because it's given more to the RBI's, I mean, market forces rather than RBI itself intervention. So I can, so I'm taking it at 0 and minus 0.5. So that is giving me, so from 3 months, it is giving me various projections. Okay. I take the 12 month. So here I'm going to copy this, okay? So 3 months. Okay, you copy again. Now 12 month. I delete this much, so I get, this is where I am. So from here I'll drop, right? So here from say almost 3, I'll drop to say 2. Okay. And then I'll drop to say 1.5. Okay. And then I'll drop to say 1. Okay. If I drop like this, then I'll get various things. Okay. And then 6 months. So I'm going to copy this into the 12 month. Okay. Now the 6 month, I'm going to delete this. This is where I am. I'm again going to drop down to say 2% and then 1.5% and 1%. So this seems to be all right. Okay. So these are what I get as my projections. So this I'm doing on the 4th of April. When my spot is 85.25. 24. Okay. All right. So from this I get 86.20. I can put that in 86.2025, no? Two seven. Okay. So from these, yeah, I get so far. We have not got this one. Okay, this is to come. But from this I get 86.15. Right. Okay. So you see how all this is coming together. Now I'll do the same thing for say May. So May, my projection is 3 month is, so I'm taking 3 month here, okay? 4. Even though May is not 3 month, but I'm taking the 3 month, okay? I'm taking say 4 and I'm taking the wall minus forecast projection. Okay. That let me take as from INR benchmark rates. I'm taking this at 2.1 for April. Okay. Let me take it at say 2.2 for May. All right. So I take that as 2.2. Okay. So I'll get error projection 1 at 1.8. From this I get 85.14. Okay. So no, here my thing for May.
Up to March.
May up to March. Up to April or say March. I've not got April, right? So I'll have to take it up till March. So that for May is coming at 85.54. 85.54. Okay. Gives me 87 and 84. Now my visual error projection I'm taking at 1.25% for May also, right? 1.25%. Okay. That gives me 85, 54, 86, 61. Okay. So say suppose I keep the same weights out here. So this gives me 84 and this gives me 84, 57. Or I can. Ah, shit. This will go in the recording here. Okay. So what weightage should I give it? If I increase the weightage of, so let me first take these because these were my weights for April. And then let me play around with this a little bit. Okay. So 84, if I keep at 0, because I've got 84 half as the support, right? If I increase this a little bit, 2.2, okay, and I decrease this 2.5, but here I've got 89.12, so this, so these I've got to make as 0 and 0. Yes, I'm getting 86.06. Okay, so here I get 86.06.
Here 85.92.
Here 85.92. Now my analysis on monthly benchmark from this one I'm getting here as 86.0257. 86.0257. Okay. Then from volatility projection, so I'll go to the vol file. And here for 3 months. So here for 3 months I'm projecting vol at 4%. Okay. So 86 quarter, 84.23, 86.90. If I keep the same okay, I'll get 85.91. All right. I'm going to put 85.91. Okay. This will give, you can keep the same one. Okay. And from amplitude study, we are getting for May, we are getting 85.99, which means 86. Okay. 85.9961. Take 85.9961. 85.9961. Okay. So that gives me 86.10. Okay. So this is the numerical projection.
Right.
See, even in the numerical projection, we're not doing project from only one side, or only one study. We are doing 4-5 studies we are doing.
Correct.
Because one thing is giving me one answer, another thing is giving me another answer. See, one thing is giving me 85.92, another is giving me 86.38, another is giving me 85.75.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't take only one. Here I've got so many possibilities. I've got to do a weighted, I've got to put weights on it. Okay. So this was the whole thing.